Hello fashion lovers, welcome to another episode of Fashion Eye. As always, it's me, Christian Zaramba, and today we are here, as you can see, at We Best Models Management, and it's going to be an amazing show. We're going to sit down with Franco Cavanaugh, one of the founders and the owner, if I can say it that, of We Best Models Management, and it's going to be an amazing show. We're going to start as with the trends. As you saw, there was Bianca Fashion Hub that happened during the weekend, and I want to be seeing more about things that happen. But also, not only that, we're going to be having the interview section. We sat down with Franco Cavanaugh, one of the amazing, I can call it the founders of the Rwandan fashion industry at all. But that we have also the Style Your Style segment, where we visit different shops and we see what is trending down to the shops in the fashion world. So let's take a look with the trends. We'll be right back. The elegance, the music, the glamour, the moment of respect are what the fashion enthusiast witnessed at the star-studded Bianca Fashion Hub, which happened for the second time in Kigali. At Camp Kigali was the place to be on Saturday, August 20, where fashion meets music. To make the show more entertaining, it was hosted by the fashion guru and the TV presenter Bianca Baby. The annual event celebrated fashion in Rwanda while also creating a showroom for all the fashion enthusiasts. Bianca showcased her first collection, and also, as expected, Mobeto and Ugandan Shela Gashumba did not disappoint on the red carpet, and also saw different performers from Rwandan artists and also the one and only Eddie Kenzo from Uganda. While Rwandan television personality Kista Kabagire and Rwandan top model Sedwina Mucho were among the key figures who dressed code left fashion show goers impressed. From the second runner-up, Kayumba Darina, rocking a beautiful black dress with a high sleeve cut, and to the first runner-up, walking the runway in a black jumpsuit from Bianca Fashion House collection, to our very own fashionista Krista Kabagire, rocking a dress from Twinkle. Yes, that's it from the trends part. Hope you enjoyed and saw what is trending in the fashion industry. So going on is the interview part. As I just told you, we sat down with Franco Cavanaugh, one of the amazing people in the fashion world. So let's take a look at the interview. We'll be right back. Yes, welcome back to the interview section. So as always, we sit down with different people, the fashion designers, influencers, and many people that really make an impact in the fashion industry. And today, we're not going to go far to one of the pioneers, if I can call them, people that you probably know him from being in the fashion industry, has been working for so long, promoting models, trying to book like every model in the country. So welcome, Cavanaugh, Franco, in the studio. And we are glad we're in your studio today. We're going to be knowing more about you. So welcome to the interview.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to have you guys. Let's go through.
So we would love to know, because you have done so many interviews probably at this point in your life, and you have talked about yourself so many times, but we want to know more a little bit for like the first person who watched you today, like who's watching for your first interview right now. We're in the studio, we're seeing so much things going on, but we want to know, who is Franco Cavanaugh?
Franco Cavanaugh is a Rwandan young man who is very thirsty to take Rwanda abroad and represent Africa in general. So my focus now is not only to be a modeling agent or a talent manager. I'm looking also forward to see how I can become maybe I want to work with different brands, so I want to become a great casting director. I've been seeing so many models going through different things, and I want to change that. If I get opportunity to work with a big brand, I want to be a different casting director.
Yeah, you have been in the industry for so long now. You're one of the pioneers and the founders. We can call you one of the founders of the fashion industry in Rwanda. How does it feel to be working for such so long? You started with Golden Models, now you're with the best. How does it feel to be in the industry for such a long time?
Well, apart of being or born with a talent, you have to love or to fall in love with what you do. It doesn't matter how long, it doesn't matter what you're going through. If you're in love with what you do, the love remains. So I think what pushed me a lot is that I love what I do, I love who I am, and I love my vision. So I had to stuck on what I do to become Franco of today.
Yeah. You started as a model also, probably back then, but I want you to like to go back. Tell me a little bit about the journey, like being a model, like in 2009, 10 there. I want to know how was it?
Well, it's not something that I can talk on the microphone and finish unless I write a book, because
You
my
have to.
yes, I will. I have already got a name. Uh, it's a little bit going to be like a walk to redemption, or if Isi could talk or something like that,
Yeah.
that people doesn't know what is going on, but or if world could talk and maybe tell the world how I cried, how I suffered, what I see, what I saw, everything. So it wasn't easier for me, but as I mentioned above, if you love what you do, if you fall in love with your talent, you're gonna make it at the end of the day. So back then wasn't easy because we used to work for free. You pay the transport, you buy clothes, you go to the show, they don't maybe give you even food or something to drink, but you have to work. You have at the end of the day to call yourself a model, and we used to call ourselves mannequin, and model just became with an English version. So back then, like 15 years, all every models, the name was mannequin. So we were working for free. We were having so many things. That's why people I started with today they're in another life, and they don't believe how I remained with what I do, how comes I became who I am. But the difference is the time I joined modeling, I paid, I applied. The agents asked me to pay. I paid 50,000 Rwandan francs. That was a lot of money. I had to try to get that money, even if it wasn't possible and easier for me, but I collected the money and I paid. So since I paid for the school fees or the agent's fees, I had to do something with that. So I knew what I wanted, even if it wasn't enough knowledge about it. I was burning. That's why I had to pay that money. I didn't get jobs, I didn't get shows, but from 2010 is the time I started to get a platform on some shows, and it was amazing. I worked with Rwanda Fashion Festival, first edition. We had an amazing photographer. He was a number one photographer in Paris back then. And the second edition in 2011, we got to work with Trace TV, but in the fashion sector. So it was enough opportunity for me to know or to learn what is going on outside of Rwanda, and that's what pushed me to stop being a model and try to create an agency. I started with another agency, and the reason why I started, it was to try to have a lot of people who understands modeling and fashion, and to show Rwandans that anyone can work, can be a model and get life. So from there, that's where I get an idea of bringing web-based models with my co-founder Sarah. I just applied one day with one of the bank. I'm not gonna advertise, and I get a reply from Lagos, Nigeria. They came here to do a casting, and they were so obsessed with my models. Other countries normally send 3 or 2 models, but guess what? In Rwanda, they choose 9 girls. That was a lot. Apart from Nigeria, that has a lot of models, another models were just Rwanda. And once we stepped in Lagos, everything stopped because of the faces that I had. So from there, then I saw that I can make it, and stopped to just work locally or on African level and start to go beyond and work globally.
What really pushed you to go through an agency type person? Because as so many models nowadays, they have transitioned. They're fashion designers. They are doing some of them really went out of the fashion industry. They're no longer working. But what pushed you to go to the being an agent to open like a fashion agent, now a modeling agent? I mean, what really pushed you?
What pushed me a lot is to try to give opportunity to young talents that I didn't get while I was a young man. That's the main reason. And another thing was to show the world or to present the world the talents from Rwanda.
And then you are now you started with the golden models, and now you have with the best. I want to know what happened to golden models. Did you fire all of them?
No, as I mentioned with the golden models, the time I started, I wanted first of all to have a lot of people that knows modeling and fashion and to work, because I don't teach only to walk or to pose. There's one small lesson that I gave to my models that are called models behavior. In models behavior, models learn not only to walk, to pose, to dress, to eat. No, no, no. They have to know everything related to modeling and fashion. So if you have so many people that knows that, they are the voices that helped me back talk to the families, to the member of the families, to the friends, to just make noise outside. Another thing that made me create golden models, it's because I wanted to give value to the models. I have surfed a lot and I wanted to manage models, and if you ask around, everyone who works with me gets values. You can never dare work with my models without payments. If you choose to work my model, that means money. And my models, even if the money is not big locally, but they make them. You can go and check around. So as I was in transition of having golden models, I was working with different models. Those one were, I had the ones that signed with me, and I had another one who's not signed with me. That's where I met Sarah and the other girls in the city. So I saw something in Sarah. I used to call her a creative director of my agency, Golden Models, and we had a lot of time talking about how we can work, because she had always me saying that I want to take my models around the world. And one day we said, let's now start to work together. That was in 2019, in June. We went just out for lunch. We created the name of the agency. We created the Instagram and logo at the same day. Then we launched our agents online, and after 6 months, we launched We Best Models. So it took us 4 years to talk about We Best Models. Yeah. So now we're here. With all amazing girls and boys. Yeah.
So now you have launched with the best. It's working, and we can't literally say the success you have. That's so huge. Seeing one of the Rwandan girls in Rwanda that we know, one of the girls was like among Miss Rwanda, Ishaja Morela, working for Paris, like working for Milan. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment. How does it feel to be a part of that success of someone's life?
Well, it's like I live my dreams. I have asked God to help me to give opportunities, young talents that I didn't get at once, and today seeing them walking around the world. Myself, if I die, maybe tomorrow I'll go in heaven, because I have seen a lot. I have got what I was looking for. It's insane having someone who lives maybe in London, waking up to go to work to Paris, and come back to sleep to London. It's unbelievable. Having someone who just booked to fly to maybe Seoul to do a show of Dior, seeing my girls around the Europe in the big billboards in the airports or the train parks, but around the city, it's not something you can have the right words to call it, unless if you open my heart, you see how happy I am to not see only my models being there, but seeing Rwanda being mentioned and represented.
Yeah, we have some of the legends in the industry, people like Nezara Shaw, people like Kalisa Winnie, people like Sisinga Mije, like these legend models that were there since day one in the fashion industry. I want to know, why was it not them? Is that a great question? 'Cause
No, it is. It is a beautiful one because people have to know. As I said, because my time was running a lot for me to be on the international platform, we were in the same lane. So the age is a problem. As every talent, they have to sign you at your lower age. So you can't sign someone over 25 to become a new face. It's a problem. It has to be between 17 to 21, the last age. So for them, it doesn't mean they're not a great models. They are. They know I am super fan of them. When you talk about Winnie, when you talk about Sissi Ngamije, oh my God, I adore them. And every time I got a job and the requirements wants them, I always give them a job. Recently, Sissi was in Nairobi working with someone she didn't expect to work with. I was the one who sent her. So it doesn't mean that I don't work with them anymore. I do, but I'm focused on the new talents since the world needs them. So it doesn't mean they are not great models. They are, but also age is a problem.
and the fashion industry is so much like growing so fast in these days and running. And I want to know, when you take a look at the fashion industry in Rwanda and back then, how has been the change? I mean, in modeling, not in fashion. We'll talk about that later. But in modeling, how has it been the change? What about the values? What about the money they pay? Maybe how has it changed so far?
Well, it changed a lot. We are not where we used to be. We used to work without contracts, but now models has contracts. They know if I work, I'll maybe pay my agent 30% or some money, even if there is no contract. But they know my agent will call me and tell me, you have this job and your payment is maybe is 100,000. That's totally different with what we used to do, where you just go to work and don't even expect to have lunch. Today, you have lunch, you have your payments, you have transportation, you have everything. So it's totally different. We just can't say that we are where we want to be, but it goes with the country development, every sector. Maybe the country is not focused on the creative industry, but they know creative industry is a part of the development. So they have to sit and see what they can do with us and put money in us. Because trust me, without a creative industry, you can never get so many good things outside.
There's so many fashion shows that are happening in these days, Franco. Like 2 days ago, we had this Bianca fashion show. We had Collective Rwanda. We had Mercedes-Benz, and they're always on the front row. I mean, like always in the fashion industry. Like, how does it feel to have such growth in the fashion world? Like, when you take a look, like July shows are starting. Like in 2 years, we'll be having full fashion season. We have Mercedes, we have Collective, now Bianca fashion show. How does this feel to have all that growth of shows happening?
Every work pays. I have worked for this, and it's not miracle, or it's not understandable when you see me working with everyone. I have been there. I have showed that I am my capability, my patience, my creativity, my understanding. So I know if you want someone to work with and you want your job to be well done, you have no choice other than calling me. So it was my first time to work with Corrective Rwanda because they were expected, or they were expecting big personalities, VVIP people, who else they should have called with that short time. I think that's the main reason they called me, and this time they paid well because they knew if they call me, they will have to pay. Working with Mercedes-Benz is not big deal because I've been working with Danny. I worked with him for the first show and the second, and expecting to work with the third one because I've seen him growing. I've worked with him from day one, so it can never happen for him to forget me when we started from the scratch and now we have money. he has to call me because Dan is a good person. So other shows, let's say maybe someone who doesn't know Rwanda, he or she will go to the internet and click and search who is the best. My name will be there. He will call me. Like an example, People with the Cacks. It's like the other show from Intare Arena and Marriott Hotel. Those people didn't know anyone from Rwanda. They just contacted me the time I was working in Nairobi. I had to come to Rwanda because they didn't know anyone, and they said they're trusting me because of what they wrote from the internet. So it's not, I can't say that I am the biggest, but my work tells. So everyone will work with me because maybe you will go and tell someone, if you want great agents, look for Franco. If you want someone to manage your models, look for Franco. If you want someone who's going to create a nice routine that never happened before, look for Franco. So those small details is the reason why everyone wants to work with.
Yeah. So I want to ask you a question. You were there during the Bianca Fashion Week, fashion show. Who are you wearing? And probably someone is knowing that you are probably trending right now, but who were we wearing last night and how was the show probably?
I was wearing Matteo Design since a young man, Matteo, and he's from Musanze. I just made a small mistake saying that I am wearing umusore w'umunyarwandakazi, and well, they chose just to post that among thousands of good words that I talked about or I said. That's okay, and it's not big deal since a word kazi is called it in Kinyarwanda umusuma, and umusuma kazi is just a simple words that can come easily because we have a lot of Abanyarwanda kazi. Our sisters, our mothers, our friends, which is the females, they are Abanyarwanda kazi. Me making the small mistake of saying Umunyarwanda kazi, and they chose just to only talk about that. That's the media, and I don't get how someone would love to spoil your name outside and make money maybe on the YouTube and just let you suffer a lot and sleep and get enough sleep. For me, I can never do that. Well, I made that small mistakes, but it's there.
Everything. We can even see your studios, like, the color. So who was your favorite last night? The best dressed, apart from your friends? Sadwina, we love her. Yeah, who was your favorite one?
Well, no one was better than Sandwina. So I can't.
She's the best.
Yes, she was the winner, and I was part of the creation of the dress because the time I know about Mateo, I said, Sandwina, come with me. We're gonna win. Even if I didn't win, but I knew one of us will win. Yes. So the best dresser of all the time was Sandwina. Yes, I can never get enough of that dress.
I want to talk a little bit about the event that is coming up. We hosted one of the founders of ICC Models the last time that she was here, and there is African Next Supermodel that is happening. We want to know more about the details. There is the casting that happened before, and now what should people wait for during the event?
What is going on is after doing the castings in we have done the casting. I was there in Nairobi, we do it Juba, we done it in Burundi, in Rwanda, in Nigeria, and Ethiopia. So now what is going on, we are now in transition of choosing who is coming to Rwanda because the final is in November on 26th. So now soon, or I think maybe in 1 week time, we'll give out the names and the faces where people will start to vote. Of course, Rwanda will have a lot of faces, but it's time for Rwandans to vote and show the love to the models for them to win, because the one who's going to win, oh my God, is going to make it, because it will be signed with a Select Global. We'll have 1 year in Paris, paying nothing, accommodation, food. If you get time to work, you work, but you know that, you have to know that the ones who's going to win will stay in Paris for 1 year. they pay for visa, flights, accommodation, food, and everything for a period of 1 year. So it's something big. So it's time for Rwandans to show some love and try to vote and raise our flag as we do every time.
So going on like to the last question, probably, what would be the advice? Because I normally get these emails, like even like DMs on Instagram, like, what should we do? How should we do it? How should we join the modeling agencies and start modeling? So what would be the advice for the kids out there that are watching us today, that want to start the modeling? Because you are probably, you get that a lot, kids calling you and DMing you, like every, yeah. What would be that advice to these young people that want to join the modeling industry?
Yes, before you choose to apply, look at yourself. Get to know, just do researches. If you are a male, if you are female, check if you really look like other models. You don't have to have my face, but height is the same. You don't have to have my hair, but the shape of the head. You know, check before you apply. And if I didn't pick you, someone else will pick you. So if you really think that you have what it takes, stuck on applying to different agencies. Me, I want to call it rejecting, but it's not a rejection. Me choose not to work with you. It doesn't mean you're not a great model. Someone else will pick you. That person, if didn't choose to work with you, I am here. I will wake up and see you and be like, oh my God, saying maybe you're the one I was looking for. That's what happened every time. So what you really have to do is just do research, compare yourself to others, work hard, work on your skin, work on your walk, learn how to take pictures, learn how to present yourself. And also the most important is discipline. Someone will wake up and write to me, or maybe on WhatsApp, and I don't know where they get my numbers, in the middle of maybe 2 a.m. in the morning, calling me on the video call. Trust me, even if you look for like Jesus, I will never pick you because you don't have discipline. Run which words you use or words that are used to write the email. Run what good time to talk. If I'm in USA, that's why I said do research. Get to know my working hours before you text me or you call me. Someone will reject you because of your discipline and you look good. So those small details is the ones that make someone to be great. And another thing on top of that is to be grateful. So many models change just like this. I pick you on the street, I do everything, I take you to Europe, you work, you get money, you wake up in the morning and ignore me. But trust me, if someone does that, you just do the second or the next season and you're done.
Yes, that's it from Style Your Style, and hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Christian Zaramba, and you still can join me on Instagram, Christian Zaramba, and text Vandemi if you want to say anything to me. So see you right next time. Bye-bye.